Welcome back to Horoscope TV. So imagine you're pulling at a single loose thread on your favorite sweater, right?
Yeah, never a good idea.
Exactly. You expect a quick fix, but then you just watch the entire sleeve unravel right in your hands. And this episode is all about you, Capricorn.
It really is.
We are looking at your astrological charts for the week of June 8th to June 14th, 2026.
A very, a very intense week.
Yeah, intense is the word. You need to listen today because you are stepping into a week that will completely test your patience at work and at home.
But, it's not all bad.
Right, definitely not all bad.
No.
It also offers an incredibly lucky moment for true love and a very real chance to protect your long-term money.
Exactly.
So the stars are basically handing you that loose thread this week. And our mission today is to help you decide when to pull it and when to just leave it totally alone.
That is exactly right. When we look at the astro data for this specific period, we see a week of, tearing down old habits.
Like a total rebuild.
Yeah, rebuilding a much stronger foundation. It's a time that requires intense focus.
For sure.
You are going to face some pretty heavy blockages in how you talk to people. But you will also find deep comfort in reliable friends and partners. The real theme here is structural integrity.
Structural integrity. I love that.
Yeah, like how strong are the walls you've actually built around your life?
Because if there is one thing a Capricorn cares about, it's building something that lasts forever.
Absolutely.
So our goal today is to break down all these charts so you, Capricorn, can feel prepared, grounded, and just generally in control of the whole rebuilding process.
And that feeling of control, it is really going to be tested. The charts show a lot of push and pull.
A lot of friction.
So much friction. You will have moments where you feel completely stuck, just unable to move forward at all. And then moments where you feel completely supported by the universe.
Right. And knowing when those exact moments happen and more importantly, why they happen is basically the key to surviving the week. Well, let's just get right into it then. We have to start with the home front because the charts are showing some serious stress brewing in your living room.
Oh, yeah. Your ruling planet is Saturn.
Yeah.
And, Saturn is known as the strict planet.
Very strict.
It loves rules, it loves boundaries, and it really loves doing things the hard way.
The Capricorn way.
Right, the Capricorn way. Now, usually Capricorns love Saturn energy. It is totally their home field. But right now, Saturn is moving through the sign of Aries.
And that's sitting right in their home and family sector, right?
Yes, and that placement is the real root of the tension here. Saturn is the ultimate taskmaster. Think of Saturn as like a strict teacher who wants everything organized, perfect, and done exactly by the book.
So it moves really slowly.
Very slowly. But Aries is the exact opposite. Aries is fast, fiery, totally impatient energy. It's just the spark of a fire.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
If Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet and Capricorns already love rules and structure, shouldn't having Saturn in their home sector feel, really good?
You would think so.
Shouldn't it feel like they finally have the power to just organize their house exactly the way they want it?
That is a great question, but you really have to look at the environment Saturn is sitting in.
Okay.
Imagine Saturn is wearing a heavy, thick winter coat, but it is standing in the middle of a burning hot desert.
Oh, wow. Because it's in Aries.
Because it's in Aries. Having Saturn in Aries creates this deep clash of speeds. You, as a Capricorn, want things done right, which obviously takes time.
Right. You can't rush quality.
Exactly. But the Aries energy in your home sector makes you feel incredibly rushed. You feel this intense pressure to have the perfect organized home, and you feel like you need it done like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I see. So it is like trying to build a brick wall while someone is standing right behind you screaming at you to hurry up.
Yes. Perfect analogy.
If you rush, the wall will just fall down, but the yelling is totally stressing you out.
That is exactly it. And that stress reaches a total boiling point on Wednesday, June 10th.
Uh-oh. Wednesday.
Yeah. This is a very heavy day in the charts. On June 10th, Mercury, which is, the planet of communication and talking, it forms what is called a square with Saturn.
And I know squares are usually pretty tough.
Very tough.
The charts say this specific setup is going to make Capricorn feel completely overwhelmed by their daily household chores.
Yeah.
And they will really, really struggle to speak clearly with their family members.
Yeah, let me analyze what a square actually is for a second. It's a very specific pressure point in astrological charts.
Okay.
Think of it like two paths that cross, right?
Yeah.
And two totally different forces are marching down those paths at the exact same time.
Like a giant intersection.
Exactly. And neither force wants to stop. Neither force wants to let the other one pass.
Sounds like a recipe for a crash.
It is. One force is Mercury, which just wants to talk, to send a message, to get the point across fast. And the other force is Saturn, holding all the strict rules and the heavy weight of your daily duties.
Man, it is like trying to run high-speed internet on a really old, outdated computer.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah. Mercury is sending like 1,000 messages a second, demanding action. Take out the trash, load the dishwasher, pick up the kids.
Right.
But your Capricorn brain, under this Saturn square, is hardwired to only process one single thing at a time. So the system doesn't just slow down. It completely freezes up and crashes.
That is exactly the mechanism at play here. Saturn's heavy, strict nature is totally blocking Mercury's need to flow.
Wow.
This creates a feeling of being stuck in thick mud right in your own kitchen or your living room. You want to tell your partner or your kids what to do, you have the whole list of chores in your head.
But when you open your mouth,
the words just get stuck. Or, even worse, they come out sounding way too harsh, or your family just totally ignores you.
I can feel the frustration just thinking about it. You pull the clothes out of the dryer and someone has left a messy, sticky plate on the counter, and you just freeze.
Yeah, it's paralyzing.
It makes me think of trying to untangle a massive ball of holiday lights. You pull them out of the box, and it is just a giant mess.
No, I hate that.
Right. And if you get angry and just yank on one wire, the knot just gets tighter and tighter. You literally cannot force it.
You absolutely cannot force it on June 10th. If you pull hard on those lights, you break the bulbs.
Right.
If you try to force a serious conversation about household chores on Wednesday, you are going to break the peace in your home. The friction is just way too high.
So since you can't force the communication and the computer system is basically crashing, what is the best way for Capricorn to just survive Wednesday without completely snapping at the people they live with?
You really have to step away from the tangled lights.
Just walk away.
The charts are telling us that putting down the problem is the only way through. If you walk into the kitchen and there are dirty dishes everywhere and you feel that hot Aries anger rising up, just stop.
Just freeze.
Yes. Do not start a lecture. Do not try to call a family meeting. And do not write a passive-aggressive sticky note and put it on the fridge.
No sticky notes. That is a very good rule.
The energy is just too blocked. Any word you try to use will be misunderstood. You have to accept that Wednesday is not the day to fix the big problems in your house.
So what do? You
just have to let the house be a little messy.
Oh, man. That is so hard for a Capricorn. Leaving the mess feels like failing.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the timeline here. You only have to leave the mess for one single day.
Because it changes on Thursday.
Yes, because the charts show that relief is coming extremely fast.
Right.
The very next day, Thursday, June 11th, the moon moves into the sign of Taurus.
Oh, and Taurus is an earth sign, just like Capricorn.
Exactly.
That already sounds like a breath of fresh air.
It is a complete shift in the atmosphere. The moon controls our daily moods and our emotional reactions. When the moon enters Taurus on June 11th, it brings a deep, heavy sense of calm.
Nice.
It is a very grounding energy. It pulls you out of that fiery, rushed Aries panic, and it plants your feet firmly back on the solid ground.
It is like waking up the day after a terrible fever. On Wednesday, you are sweating, you are frustrated, your brain is all foggy. But on Thursday, the fever breaks. You open the window, you feel a cool breeze, and you can finally think clearly again.
That earthy Taurus energy is absolutely vital for Capricorn this week. It takes all that messy emotion from Wednesday and turns it into practical action.
Because Taurus likes practical things.
Exactly. Taurus does not care about yelling or arguing. Taurus only cares about what actually works.
Okay.
So on June 11th, you will calmly look at those dirty dishes, and instead of feeling angry, you will just figure out a practical schedule. You will fix the household issues with your hands rather than trying to fix them with your words.
That makes total sense. So the rule for the home front is simple: hold your tongue on Wednesday and make your practical plans on Thursday.
That's the perfect summary.
But I want to pause here for a second because this is where the week gets really tricky, I think.
Oh, definitely.
The tension you feel at the kitchen table on June 10th does not just stay at home.
No, it does not.
You are going to pack that tension right in your briefcase and take it straight into the office on that exact same day.
Yes. Wednesday, June 10th, is deeply loaded in the astrological charts. The energy is basically bleeding over from your personal life right into your professional life.
So your career zone requires some very careful handling.
Extreme care.
Let's break down what is happening at work then. The sun is currently moving through your zone of daily work and office routines.
Right.
And the sun is, like a giant spotlight shining right on your desk.
Yes, highlighting everything you do.
But on that highly stressful day, June 10th, the sun forms what is called a tense opposition to Lilith.
Oh boy.
The charts say this is going to stir up some really nasty office politics. It might even bring out a rebellious coworker who tries to completely challenge your authority.
And opposition in the charts is exactly what it sounds like. Two different planets or points are standing on opposite sides of the sky, just staring each other down like they are about to duel.
It's a standoff.
Exactly. Now, the sun represents your core self. It is your ego, your pride, and your daily energy. It is how you show up to work, ready to do a good, solid job.
The sun just wants to shine and be recognized for doing good work, right?
That's all it wants.
And what about Lilith? For listeners who might not know, who is Lilith and why is she causing so much trouble here?
Lilith is a really fascinating point in the charts. She is not an actual physical planet. It is a mathematical point that represents the dark, hidden shadow of the moon.
Oh, interesting.
In really simple terms, Lilith represents the part of human nature that just wants to rebel.
Like a teenager.
Exactly like a teenager. It is the part of us that feels rejected, the part that wants to break the rules, to act out, to cause a messy scene just to get attention.
So when the shining sun stares down messy Lilith, what actually happens in a normal office setting?
Well, the sun is shining brightly on you, Capricorn. You are doing your job well. But Lilith is standing across the room, feeling incredibly jealous of your light.
Ah, jealousy.
Someone else's hidden rebellion tries to block you. That coworker who suddenly challenges you in a meeting or makes some snide comment about your project, they are acting out that Lilith energy.
They feel small, so they want to make you look bad.
Exactly. They want to drag you down into the mud with them.
They are looking for a reaction.
Yes. They want you to get defensive, to raise your voice, or to just look unprofessional in front of everyone else.
It is exactly like walking through a grocery store and seeing a toddler throwing a massive tantrum on the floor.
Yes. Screaming, kicking.
Throwing cereal boxes everywhere. Now, if you are an adult and you get down on the floor and start screaming back at the toddler, you look crazy to everyone else in the store.
You do.
The toddler just drag you down to their level. You do not win that fight. You just have to calmly walk past them and let them tire themselves out.
That is a perfect way to look at it. You cannot reason with Lilith energy when it is all fired up like that. You must remain highly professional.
So do not engage.
The charts strongly advise avoiding all office drama on June 10. Just do not take the bait.
But wait, I have to push back here for a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
It is really easy to say, just ignore the coworker. But on that exact same day, Wednesday, June 10, we still have that awful square between Mercury and Saturn happening, right?
Yes, that is still happening.
And we already established that it totally ruins communication at home. Doesn't that mean it also ruins communication with the boss?
You hit the nail on the head. Saturn is the planet that represents authority figures, like your boss or your manager.
Oh, no.
And it is clashing with Mercury, the planet of talking. So the lines of communication with upper management are totally jammed.
So the spotlight of the sun is shining on Capricorn's hard work, but the Mercury-Saturn square means the boss cannot even see it.
Yes. You might try to explain a brilliant new idea to your manager, and they just look at you with a completely blank stare.
That is the worst feeling.
Or even worse, they find a tiny, unimportant flaw and criticize the whole thing. The charts warn that Capricorn might feel like their hard work is completely ignored on this day.
That is a brutal combination. Let's analyze this for a second.
It's okay.
Capricorns wrap a lot of their personal pride in their work ethic. They want to be respected. They earn that respect. So if the boss is ignoring their hard work and a jealous coworker is throwing a tantrum on the exact same day, how does Capricorn survive that huge blow to their ego?
This is where Capricorn has to really remember their true nature. The symbol for Capricorn is the mountain goat, right?
Right.
Now, analyze how a mountain goat actually climbs. It does not sprint up the side of the cliff. It does not jump wildly.
No, it's very careful.
It climbs slowly, carefully, testing every single rock before it puts its weight down. It plays the long game.
It doesn't look down, and it definitely doesn't care if another goat is making a bunch of noise.
Right. When your ego takes a big hit on June 10th, you have to mentally zoom out. Look at the whole mountain, not just the single rock you are standing on.
That's good advice.
Do not let the lack of praise from your boss make you want to quit. The astro charts are reminding us that consistent, quiet effort is the only thing that works this week.
So basically, staying completely quiet, not fighting with the coworker, and not begging the boss for a gold star on June 10th will actually help them in the long run.
Without a doubt.
Think about what happens when the dust finally settles. In a few days, the upper management will look back at that chaotic Wednesday.
And what will they see?
They will remember the coworker who was throwing a fit. And they will remember that you sat quietly at your desk, entirely focused on your tasks, absolutely refusing to be pulled into the mess.
Oh, I see.
You survive the ego blow by knowing that your true value as an employee is never, ever decided on one single stressful day.
That is incredibly freeing. Friction is just a test of the foundation. So don't feed the office troll, and don't panic if the boss is in a bad mood. Just do the work and go home.
Just do the work. Okay, so you are swallowing your pride. You are dealing with the messy office, and you are keeping your cool. But naturally, when you are forced to put up with all this stress at work, it triggers a deep inner question, doesn't it?
It always does.
You start looking at your paycheck to justify the stress. You start wondering why you are working so hard in the first place. And this brings us straight into the topic of your money and your future security.
Money is a massive central topic for Capricorn right now. And we are not just talking about your weekly budget for groceries.
We're talking big picture.
Very big picture. The charts show a very deep, long-term change happening in how you view wealth, how you earn it, and how you save it.
Let's talk about Pluto then. The powerful planet Pluto is currently moving backward in what we call retrograde motion.
Yes, retrograde.
And it is doing this in the sign of Aquarius. Now, for a Capricorn, Aquarius sits directly in the sector of personal wealth, income, and physical possessions.
We really need to analyze what Pluto actually does. Pluto is not a light, happy planet.
Not at all.
It is the planet of the underworld. It rules deep power, hidden things, and total unavoidable change. It is basically the bulldozer of the zodiac.
The bulldozer. That's a strong image.
When Pluto moves through a sector of your chart, it does not just rearrange the furniture, it knocks the walls down.
And what does retrograde actually mean in this context?
When a planet is in retrograde, it appears to be moving backward from our view here on Earth. In astrology, this backward motion asks us to go backward in our own lives too.
To retrace our steps.
Yes, we have to review, reevaluate, and rebuild.
So this is not about finding a quick way to make an extra $20 on the weekend.
No, not at all. Pluto retrograde in your money sector is demanding a total teardown of your bad financial habits.
Oh, wow.
It is forcing you to look at the dark, hidden fears you might have about poverty, or the secret reasons why you buy things you do not really need. It wants to completely rethink your relationship with cash.
Let me see if I have this right. It sounds a lot like flipping an old house.
Okay, yeah.
You buy an old house and you think, I just need to paint the living room walls. It'll be fine. But then Pluto retrograde shows up with a heavy crowbar and says, no, we have to rip up this ugly old carpet first.
Exactly.
And when you rip up the carpet, you find out the floorboards underneath are totally rotten.
It's never just the carpet.
Right. You have to spend time and energy fixing the deep, hidden rot before you can put down those nice new hardwood floors.
That is a brilliant way to understand it. You are rebuilding your financial floorboards. You are fixing the rot.
And fixing rot takes a long time.
It is a slow process. But the charts show some very specific events happening this week that are going to test how strong those new floorboards really are.
Okay, let's look at Thursday, June 13. The moon enters the sign of Gemini.
Yes.
Now, Gemini activates Capricorn's zone of daily chores, daily habits, and small expenses.
Small, pesky expenses.
The charts say that on June 13, Capricorn is going to feel a sudden, intense urge to spend money. They might want to buy, 50 new plastic desk organizers, or spend money rearranging their home office, or buy some fancy new software to track their habits.
This is a classic psychological reaction to stress. Let's analyze the timeline for a minute.
Let's look back.
You just survived the heavy communication problems at home and the annoying coworker at the office on June 10th.
Right, the horrible Wednesday.
You felt totally out of control. So by June 13, your brain is absolutely desperate to feel in control again.
And for an earth sign like Capricorn, control means physical order.
Exactly. Organizing physical things feels like safety. Buying a new set of matching folders feels like you are fixing your life.
It's that quick dopamine hit.
Yes. The Gemini moon makes your mind race with 100 different small tasks you want to accomplish. You think, if I just buy this expensive calendar app, my whole life will be perfect.
But the charts are very clear here. You need to keep your spending strictly under control and plan for the long term. Why does buying folders ruin the Pluto retrograde process?
Because you are putting a Band-Aid over the rotten floorboards.
Ah.
You're using small, silly purchases to soothe your emotional stress instead of actually fixing the deep problem.
Hmm.
You are wasting the money you were supposed to be saving for the long haul.
So how can Capricorn satisfy that burning urge to organize their workspace on June 13 without wasting their hard-earned cash?
You have to separate the feeling of organizing from the physical act of spending money.
Okay, how do you do that?
You do not need a new software program to organize your computer files. You can just sit down and create new folders for free.
Right?
You do not need expensive plastic bins. You can just throw away the old papers cluttering your desk. Use the fast, busy energy of the Gemini moon to sort, to clean, and to throw out the garbage.
Do not use it to shop online.
Exactly. Clean, don't shop.
That is a great rule. Clean, don't shop. Because there is a much bigger financial picture happening on that exact same day.
There really is.
While the moon is making you want to buy folders, the charts show a wonderful thing called a benefic enclosure happening in the sign of Taurus.
It's beautiful.
The astro data says this brings a strong bubble of protection to your speculative investments.
A benefic enclosure is one of the most beautiful moments we can see in the astrological charts. Let's define it so everyone understands.
Please do.
Benefic basically means good, helpful, or lucky. Planets like Venus and Jupiter are benefics.
The good guys.
The good guys. An enclosure means being surrounded, fenced in, or held safely on both sides.
So it is like putting your money in a heavy, locked safe and hiring 2 security guards to stand right next to it.
Yes, your bigger, long-term investments are safely locked inside this protective bubble on June 13.
That's great news.
And because this is happening in Taurus, which is an earth sign, it specifically protects earthly wealth, real estate, long-term stocks, retirement accounts, the actual house you are flipping.
That's solid stuff.
The universe is actively keeping the big money safe and secure.
Which is exactly why you should not mess up your daily budget.
Exactly.
Think about it. If the stars are working overtime to protect your life savings and your big investments, it is honestly an insult to drain your checking account buying a fancy stapler you do not really need.
It is. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Let Pluto do the deep work of rebuilding your wealth and stop trying to buy quick fixes.
Okay, so we have dealt with the tense family silence. We walked past the screaming toddler at the office, and we stepped away from the online shopping cart.
We're making progress.
With all this heavy lifting in your career and your bank account, a Capricorn really needs a soft place to land at the end of the day.
They absolutely do.
And thankfully, the astro chart shows some major emotional movements in your love life this week.
Yes, and this is where the week offers some truly beautiful healing moments. Romantic relationships are going to experience a wave of deep and nurturing energy.
Awesome. It starts right away on Monday, June 9. There is a very lucky conjunction between Venus and Jupiter.
A very powerful aspect.
This happens in the highly sensitive sign of Cancer, which represents your sector of partnerships and marriage. The charts say Capricorn might discover a newfound sense of trust and absolute loyalty with their significant other on this day.
Let's analyze the mechanics of a conjunction. A conjunction is when 2 planets meet at the exact same spot in the sky.
Like they bump into each other.
Right, their energies merge together into one powerful force. Now, Venus is the planet of love, romance, attraction, and beauty.
And Jupiter.
Jupiter is a planet of luck, growth, expansion, and faith.
So Jupiter acts like a giant magnifying glass for whatever Venus is doing.
Yes, it takes the feeling of love and just blows it up. It expands your feelings of trust. And we have to look at where this is happening.
It is happening in Cancer.
Exactly. Cancer is a water sign known for being deeply protective, emotional, and intensely focused on creating a cozy home.
So when you put magnified love inside a protective shell, it creates a deeply emotional safe harbor for you.
It sounds like wrapping yourself in a heavy, warm blanket while a storm rages outside.
It is the perfect safe space after a hard day. For Capricorns who are already in a committed relationship, Monday is a day where you feel completely supported.
You look at your partner and you just know, without a doubt, that they have your back.
And what if our Capricorn listener is single? Does this lucky day just pass them by?
Not at all. The charts say this alignment is perfect for meeting someone who wants a serious, long-term commitment.
Oh, nice.
This is not the energy for a quick, silly date or playing games. Jupiter and Venus in Cancer attract people who want to build a real foundation. They want to nurture and protect.
So if you are single, pay close attention to the people who offer you genuine comfort and safety on June 9. That is wonderful news. It sets a great tone. But of course, relationships take actual work, and the stars always bring a little bit of homework to make sure the foundation is strong.
Always.
We have to look at Thursday, June 13th again. We already know you are fighting the urge to buy things on that day,
Hmm.
but in your love life, Capricorn must be very cautious.
Yes.
On June 13th, Venus forms a painful square with Chiron.
Yes. We talked about squares earlier with Mercury and Saturn. We know a square is a frustrating intersection where two different energies crash into each other.
Right. And this time, Venus, the planet of love, is crashing into Chiron.
Exactly.
I have heard of Chiron. The charts often call him the wounded healer. What exactly does that mean for someone's love life?
In the astrological charts, Chiron represents our deepest emotional wounds.
The deep stuff.
It represents the oldest fears we carry, the pain that never quite goes away. It is the part of us that remembers every past betrayal, every time we were rejected, every single time someone broke our trust.
Wow. So when the planet of love hits the planet of old wounds, it triggers a flare-up.
Exactly. When Venus squares Chiron on June 13th, those old relationship fears suddenly pop up out of nowhere.
It's out of the blue.
Out of the blue. You might be sitting on the couch with your perfectly wonderful partner, and suddenly you feel a brief moment of deep sadness.
Or you start to worry that your current partner is going to hurt you exactly the same way an ex-partner did 10 years ago.
Exactly. It is like finding the perfect, most comfortable pair of shoes on Monday.
Oh, I like this analogy.
They fit perfectly, they feel soft, you completely love them. But then on Thursday, you are walking down the street in your perfect shoes, and you suddenly remember how your last pair of shoes gave you terrible bleeding blisters.
Oh, and even though your new shoes are totally fine, you get scared to walk.
You start limping just thinking about the ghost of the old pain.
That is exactly how the human brain works under this transit. The memory of the blister makes you walk funny.
The fear of past heartbreak makes you pull away from your current partner. You start looking for problems that do not exist just to protect yourself.
So the advice from the charts is to talk about these feelings openly to strengthen the bond.
Yes.
But let's be real here, I have to push back again.
Sure.
Capricorns are famous for hiding their feelings. They view emotions as messy. They like to just push through the pain in silence.
Very true.
If they feel sad about an old ex, they are going to lock it in a mental box and swallow the key. How can they possibly practice talking openly on June 13th without feeling completely weak and exposed?
They have to completely rethink what the word weakness means.
Okay.
For a Capricorn, true strength usually means building a solid, unbreakable wall around their heart. But in a romantic partnership, a solid wall does not protect you. It just keeps the other person out.
It traps you in isolation.
Exactly.
So sharing the fear is actually a strategy.
Yes, view it as giving your partner a blueprint. When you talk about your old fears, you are not crying for no reason. You are giving your partner a map of how to love you better.
You are showing them where the old blisters are so they know exactly where not to step.
Yeah.
Friction becomes a diagnostic tool. The sudden fear on Thursday is not a sign that the relationship is doomed. It is a tool to test the strength of the trust you built on Monday.
Exactly. True loyalty is built precisely during uncomfortable moments like June 13. Think about the logic.
Let's hear it.
If you can tell your partner, hey, I am feeling weird today because my ex used to lie to me about money and my brain is making you panic, and your partner sits there and listens with care, it proves something amazing.
It proves that the lucky, safe harbor energy of Monday was completely real.
Yes. It proves that the trust you felt earlier in the week is solid enough to handle the ugly, messy fears.
By opening up and showing the wound, you are testing the foundation.
And if you're with the right person, you will find that the foundation easily holds your weight.
I love the mechanics of that. Do not let the fear make you pull away and act cold. Just state the fear out loud like a fact.
That's the best approach.
Now, having the right partner or friend makes all the difference when you're trying to open up. Let's look at exactly who is going to be your rock this week and who you need to run away from.
Yes, the astro charts are very clear on your cosmic alliances right now.
The charts are extremely clear. The people you choose to spend your time with this week will completely change how you survive the stress.
Let's start with the best news. Your absolute best match this week is Taurus.
Taurus.
The charts say Taurus shares your deep dedication to hard work. And we already know that when the moon enters Taurus on June 11, you feel a massive wave of relief.
This is a classic Earth-to-Earth connection, right?
Exactly. Capricorn is an earth sign, and Taurus is an earth sign. Earth signs understand the world in the exact same way.
They process things on a physical, practical level.
You never have to explain your basic needs to a Taurus. They just quietly observe and understand.
The charts note that a Taurus does not demand big, messy emotional displays. They show their love through practical action.
Which is perfect for Capricorns.
They will cook you a great meal, they will fold your laundry, or they will sit quietly next to you and help you look over your bank statements.
That sounds like heaven for a Capricorn whose brain is totally fried from office politics.
It is exactly the medicine Capricorn needs.
When we analyze why this works so flawlessly, we have to look back at the timeline of the week. Remember the terrible stress of Wednesday, June 10th.
The communication blockages, the toddler tantrum at work, the boss ignoring you.
By the time Thursday rolls around, Capricorn is totally exhausted from trying to talk to people who will not listen.
They are just out of words.
Right. And Taurus does not ask you to talk about your feelings if you do not want to.
That's a relief.
A Taurus friend or partner will see that you are tired, and instead of asking what is wrong, let's talk about it for an hour, they will just hand you a warm plate of food and put on a good movie.
Practical actions speak so much louder than words for an earth sign. Anyone can say, I love you, but doing the dirty dishes without being asked or bringing you a cup of coffee without making a big deal out of it, that is true. Profound romance for a Capricorn.
Taurus values deep security and long-term stability over playing silly social games. They provide a calm, heavy, luxurious sanctuary where you can finally let your guard down. Their loyalty is completely unmatched this week.
So a Taurus is like a sturdy brick house with a warm fireplace inside. You just walk through the front door, lock the deadbolt, and the chaotic storm outside cannot touch you.
A perfect solid sanctuary.
But unfortunately, there is a storm outside.
There's always a storm somewhere.
And the charts have clearly identified the storm. Your absolute worst match this week is Aries.
Aries is a fire sign, and right now that fire is completely out of control.
The charts show the moon entering Aries right at the start of the week, and the energy becomes entirely too impulsive, rushed, and aggressive for your careful nature.
Aries acts without thinking, and they completely ignore the rules.
We need to deeply analyze why Aries is so toxic for you right now.
Let's do it.
Remember the heavy square between Mercury and Saturn that dominates your week?
Yes.
That aspect forces you to move slowly. It demands that you value tradition, slow progress, and careful planning. You are trying to walk on eggshells.
But Aries wants speed. Aries wants instant gratification, constant action, and loud thrills.
So it is a massive, violent crash of speeds. It is the high-frequency trading software trying to run on the old dial-up modem.
Exactly. You are carefully trying to build a solid wall, stacking the bricks one by one, checking the cement.
And Aries is running around the construction site breaking things.
Yes, causing chaos, demanding that the wall be finished right this exact second.
If Taurus is the warm, quiet brick house, Aries is like a loud firecracker going off inside your kitchen sink while you're trying to quietly wash the dishes.
It is shocking, it makes a huge mess, it scares you, and it gives you an instant headache.
The charts say you will find their fast behavior incredibly immature and deeply annoying.
And on the flip side, they will view you as boring, slow, and way too strict. This will result in massive arguments.
Their fiery temper will only spike your blood pressure and ruin your carefully planned schedule.
That's a bad mix right now.
So let's get practical. If a Capricorn is forced to deal with an Aries this week, maybe their teenage kid is an Aries, or maybe that rebellious Lilith coworker we talked about earlier is an Aries. What is the best exit strategy?
You have to completely refuse to play their game entirely.
How do you escape the firecracker?
Aries feeds on reaction. They want the fast pace, they want the argument, they want the thrill of the fight. It makes them feel alive.
So don't give it to them.
If you refuse to speed up, if you refuse to yell back, they completely lose their fuel. They will eventually get bored and find someone else to bother.
So you basically just become a stone wall.
Yes. Keep your answers incredibly short. Just say yes, no. I will look into that later.
Don't elaborate.
Do not try to explain your careful, logical plans to them because their brain is moving way too fast to listen, and you will just get more frustrated trying to make them understand.
That makes the Taurus connection even more valuable. When you finally escape the Aries firecracker, you run straight to the Taurus brick house.
Exactly.
I highly encourage every Capricorn listening to actively seek out their Taurus friends on Thursday, send them a text, ask to come over for dinner, or just go sit in their quiet living room and completely decompress.
It will help your nervous system reset completely.
And speaking of your nervous system, managing all these different energies takes a huge physical toll.
It really does. Stress lives in the body.
Avoiding the Aries firecracker, surviving the boss, and worrying about your bank account, your physical body absorbs all of that stress.
Yes, it does.
So let's transition to talking about your physical body and your wellness routine for the week.
Physical wellness is actually strongly supported for you this week, but only if you follow the rhythm of the astrological charts.
The stars are laying out a very clear day-by-day schedule for your self-care.
Let's start right at the beginning. On Saturday, June 8th.
Okay, Saturday.
The week kicks off with a sensitive last quarter moon in the sign of Pisces.
The charts say this specific moon phase is asking Capricorn to rest their mind and practice deep breathing.
The sequence of the moon phases tells a real story here. Let's analyze it. A last quarter moon is a time of letting go.
Right.
If you look up at the sky, the moon is getting smaller, fading away into darkness. It represents the end of a cycle.
And Pisces is involved too.
Yes, and Pisces is a very spiritual, sensitive, watery sign that rules dreams and the subconscious mind.
So it is about emptying the trash bin of your mind before the terrible Wednesday traffic jam even starts.
Exactly. Think of your mind like a cup. If you go into this tough week with a cup that is already full of old worries, you will spill over and lose your temper on Wednesday.
So dump the cup out.
Use the quiet energy of June 8 to just sit still. Breathe deeply. Clear out any old stress so you start Monday with an empty cup.
Then we move forward to Thursday, June 11. We already talked about the moon entering Taurus and bringing emotional calm,
Right.
but it also comes with physical instructions. The charts say you should take time to literally pamper your physical body. Take a long, warm bath, do some gentle stretching.
It is crucial to release the built-up physical stress on this day
Why is Taurus so physical?
because Taurus rules the physical senses. Touch, taste, smell, physical comfort. The Taurus moon is about physically washing away the dirt and stress of the Wednesday work trauma.
That makes sense.
When you deal with that fast Aries energy or you clench your jaw while your boss ignores you, your muscles get super tight, your shoulders creep up to your ears.
You have to literally soak the tension out of your muscles with hot water.
Exactly.
It is exactly like treating your body like a rechargeable battery. You cannot let the battery run all the way down to 1% while dealing with the family chores on Wednesday, and then expect to fully recharge by drinking 1 glass of water.
No, you have to plug the battery into the wall and let it rest for hours.
And if you do plug yourself in and rest on Thursday, the charts show a huge physical reward coming your way.
A massive reward.
On Saturday, June 13th, that exact same benefic enclosure in Taurus that puts a lock on your bank account also brings a beautiful wave of physical healing and vitality to your body.
Oh, that is amazing.
The heavy safe protects your money and it protects your immune system.
Yes. The protective bubble covers your health. It ensures you bounce back very quickly from any minor tiredness or stress-induced headaches.
But you have to do your part to help the stars.
You can't just sit there.
The charts advise that Capricorn should focus heavily on eating fresh, healthy foods pulled straight from the earth to keep their strength up.
So we are talking about root vegetables. Carrots, potatoes, dark leafy greens.
Eat things that grow deep in the soil to match that heavy, earthy Taurus energy. Give your body heavy, good fuel.
Absolutely.
Now, let's open up your lucky toolbox for the week. We have some great extras to help you navigate the days. We already mentioned your best dates are June 10th and June 11th.
I want to stop and point out something very important about those dates.
Okay, what is that?
June 10th is listed in the charts as a best date. But we just spent 30 minutes talking about how hard Wednesday is. We know it brings heavy communication blocks and ego blows.
Right, the system crash. Why on earth is the system crash day considered lucky?
It is considered a best date because surviving it proves exactly how strong your foundation is.
Oh, I see.
It forces you to practice extreme patience. It forces you to act like the mountain goat. A good day in astrology is not always a lazy day where you just sit on the beach.
Sometimes the best date is the day you face a huge challenge and handle it like a total professional.
Exactly. It builds your character. And then Thursday, June 11, is a best date because it brings the actual reward. It brings true relief and practical answers.
I love that perspective. You earn the rest on Thursday by keeping your mouth shut and doing your job on Wednesday.
Yes.
Now, you also have some lucky numbers to watch out for this week. Keep an eye out for the numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 53, and 56.
Maybe use them when you are planning your budget, or if you see them pop up on a clock or a receipt. Just take it as a small reminder that the universe is working with you.
And finally, your lucky color of the week is charcoal gray.
Charcoal gray.
How can a Capricorn use charcoal gray this week as a kind of physical shield against all the office and family stress?
Charcoal gray is a fascinating, really powerful color for an earth sign. Think about what the color represents.
It's very grounded.
Very grounded, very serious, and incredibly heavy. It is not a flashy, screaming red like Aries fire, and it is not a bright, chaotic yellow. It is the literal color of a heavy stone, or the side of a mountain.
It commands total respect, but it does not have to shout to get attention.
Exactly. When you wear charcoal gray, especially on a high-stress day like Wednesday, you are sending a silent visual message to the world.
Like armor.
You are telling your jealous coworker and your demanding family, I am solid, I'm a professional, I am not going to be moved by your petty drama.
It acts as a visual boundary line.
The dark color absorbs the chaotic, angry energy around you without reflecting it back.
So throw on a charcoal gray sweater when you have to go into that tense meeting with your boss. Or wear a charcoal gray t-shirt when you are walking into the kitchen to deal with the messy dishes. Use the color as your daily armor.
It will quietly help you stay anchored in your own power, even when people are actively trying to pull you off balance.
Anchor yourself in your quiet power. What a great rule for the week. We have covered an incredible amount of ground today.
Really have.
From the traffic jams of household communication, to walking past the screaming toddler at work, to protecting your big investments from Pluto, and using your old fears to build deeper trust with your partner.
It truly is a week of deep building. You are tearing up the old, rotten floorboards and laying down fresh, solid wood in your wealth, your relationships, and your daily habits.
It takes hard work, but the house you build will last a lifetime.
It really will.
As we wrap up this look into your astro charts, we want to leave you with a final thought. Something deep to chew on as you go through your busy week.
With Pluto making you completely rethink what money means to you, and Saturn making you work so hard just to have a peaceful kitchen, consider this deep question.
What if true wealth for you isn't just the number printed on your bank statement?
What if your ultimate goal in life is actually having the absolute freedom to enjoy a quiet, uninterrupted evening at home, sitting next to someone you completely trust?
How does realizing that change the way you value your time right now?
That is such a powerful question to hold in your mind when things get stressful on Wednesday.
Is this argument about the dishes really worth losing my peace? Is buying this extra set of folders worth giving up my future freedom? Keep your eyes on the top of the mountain, Capricorn. Climb slowly, test your footing, and do not let anyone rush you. Thank you for listening to the episode on Horoscope TV. Please suggest to subscribe so that you can get notified when the next episode is available. Stay grounded this week, and take care of yourself.